20 years ago, 4 executive directors of shelters here in Fairfield County, leaders in our field, came together believing that working together in true collaboration, they could achieve greatness and they could truly end all forms of homelessness here in Fairfield County. It's this idea of agencies coming together, sharing practices, sharing resources, believing and trusting that we are stronger, more impactful, more powerful, more resilient by working in true collaboration. And I believe that's still the very essence of the Housing Collective.
In Connecticut today, the housing crisis touches every community. As rents rise and supply shrinks, these pressures move across towns and entire regions. No single organization can respond alone. That is why the Housing Collective exists, to connect agencies, support providers, align regional priorities, and turn isolated efforts into coordinated action.
We not only identify all the puzzle pieces and build the relationships with all the different players and folks working in the system, but then we bring them together. And that's the spaces, those are the cracks in between that no other organization fills, because other orgs are doing the work of their organization and fulfilling their individual missions, whereas our mission is the backbone. Our mission is to be the dot connector, to really take a look at what exists in the ecosystem, where the gaps are, filling the gaps, and really marshaling everyone to go in the same direction.
So it's critically important that we acknowledge that housing is in fact a regional issue, and it wouldn't make sense in my mind to have a non-regional solution to a fundamentally regional challenge.
In 2014, we helped design and create the Regional Coordinated Access Network for Fairfield County. With this new system in place, we were able to help drive the rates of homelessness down in Fairfield County, and we were asked by Department of Housing to come in and provide the same level of support for another coordinated access network, the Northwest, which includes Waterbury and Litchfield County, which we did in January of 2020.
Decades ago, Connecticut's homeless response system was fragmented, full of separate entry points, disconnected services, and unequal access. Today, the Housing Collective leads multiple regional initiatives to bring structure, consistency, and equity to how people enter and navigate the homeless response system, and how communities address housing opportunity and affordability.
Each agency, their number one goal is the success of their agency. Their programs, the clients that are within those programs, utilizing them. But what was missing was that component of looking at the system as a whole. Our clients are not only every person that's coming into the system, but it's every agency. We are in service of these agencies to meet the needs of those that are seeking services.
I am Deon Dwyer. I live in P.T. Barnum. I've been living there for about 23 years now, and I'm a mother of 3. I am the representative for the residents to make sure their voice is heard and also that they are a part of the conversation whenever there's policies being changed or made. We always encourage our residents to be the one to share their stories, because if someone else shares it, it's not the same and it won't be as effective. Housing Collective can also bring that further to the decision makers that can actually know how to make those decisions, make those policies, or change those policies, knowing how the person that's experiencing it has lived.
The Housing Collective support has been really vital to everything that we do here in the Northwest Coordinated Access Network, and it's really been the glue that's been keeping us together and moving our systems forward in a real tangible way. The coordination, the collaboration, the training, the technical expertise, all of those things, but for the Housing Collective, wouldn't happen here in the greater Waterbury area and in the Northwest can.
The way the Housing Collective serves as a backbone is really creating tools and resources and working with communities. So really understanding what supports are needed across that spectrum and then providing them and really being a resource.
I came here in June of 2020, so it was in the middle of the pandemic. Our organization had been shut down for quite some time. We were operating with a skeleton crew, and we had people who were in severe need of housing at a time when the world shut down. I was able to work alongside the Housing Collective to give set-aside housing choice vouchers for people who needed housing. We would have lost those vouchers in the middle of the pandemic had we not had this strong partnership with the collective. So it's almost a trifecta between housing, homelessness, and service provision that all comes to our market through the Housing Collective.
At the core of why we chose to invest in the work of the collective is because we see it as a group that is trying to pull cross-sector partners together. So everyone that really touches the system needs to be engaged in the solution. We felt that there needed to be an entity that was going to pull all of these partners together and then drive policy, drive capacity building, and drive whatever else needs emerged from the community as a part of the solution.
The Housing Collective, in partnership with the state, is vital. I would say you help us all really understand what's going on systemically around the coordinated access networks, around the alignment of resources, data, and local strategies. You're able to get into the weeds that sometimes we in state government don't always necessarily have the capacity to do. The dollars and cents is not the full equation. It takes collaboration with local municipalities, local government. We need our partners on the ground to do our work.
In a moment of rising need and shrinking affordability, the Housing Collective is the connective tissue that holds the ecosystem together. We help partners align strategies, strengthen capacity, and make decisions that serve the entire community.
I think everyone knows that housing is a challenge across most states in this country, but I think having a diverse group of stakeholders that you're partnering with to tackle that challenge is something that is super unique and is a best-in-class practice that should be replicated across the board. I think what gives me optimism and what I've seen from the work in Connecticut with the Housing Collective is really the level of commitment from public, private, community-based organizations to tackle regional challenges.
As we mark 20 years of systems change, we look ahead with clarity and purpose. The next 20 years will demand deeper collaboration, stronger regional systems, more resident power, and bold solutions to ensure that every person in Connecticut has a safe, stable, affordable place to call home.
The only way that we can succeed is through true, meaningful, thoughtful partnership with hundreds of agencies working in unison with those common goals, those common commitments that we can actually end homelessness and create housing abundance for all.